Good evening, lords and ladies. DJ CraigE here with the progeny behind the Fang podcast. Joining me as always, my amazing wife and co-host, Ming Xiao, Neoplitan Wu. And joining us today, a very special guest, the one, the only Diabolic Domino. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, and thank you for doing this, Diabolic Domino.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to take part in the fun.
Yes.
Well, of course, it's always great to have you on here. It's a rarity, that's for sure. So we're here with a very special episode, The Ones Who Walk Away, but still stay voting. So my wife, you want to tell us a little about this?
So tonight we're chasing the ghosts of allegiance, who breaks ranks and who rewrites the rule book after the fall. Our guest, well, he's no stranger to smoldering bridges, Diabolic Domino himself. I'm sure you all know him, so welcome to you. And CraigE, the truth is out there somewhere, so go for it. Let's find it.
Okay, we'll call you Scully now.
There you
That's
go.
what I was just thinking. X-Files, here we go.
Right?
Yes.
All I need is the music now, so...
Hey.
So, Diabolic Domino, let's go back. Way back, I guess. Where did the archetype of the renegade even begin? Was it formed from like a betrayal of an arch, or defiance, necessity, or power denied, maybe?
You know, like all things, betrayal is always involved. It started in one of the very first bloodlines. It's arch of that line for a while. After Nestus was made diabolic, and she was telling me the whole stories. And the very first renegade was named Ruckus. Remember the whole story, but basically they didn't get along, and he became the first political renegade. Now, that's one thing that's very important to remember. This is all politics.
Okay. It's very political.
Yeah. You know, just like in the real world, you live in a world where certain things exist and certain things don't exist, and this is part of the progeny world. Political factions, basically.
Okay, yes. That makes total sense. Okay.
Does. Makes total sense. And so not all renegades wear the same armor. So some defects, some are dissident, some dance at the edge of exile. Can you walk us through the types of renegades we have in the progeny vampire system currently?
Okay, sure. The types of renegades. Let's take a very common one, and that most people don't even realize it exists. They're the Arch Apostate Clans Coalition. You know, they basically don't believe in their arch or had a falling out with their arch. So, they're still a member of the GCSE. They like to follow the rules, they vote, all those fun things, but they don't agree with their arch. Is it really a renegade? You decide. But it is, you know,
Okay.
apostate. So, and then maybe there's the renegade advocacy faction. You know, they basically believe like a renegade, but they still maintain their vote in the GCSE and usually vote what the renegades might do in their favor. And then you got your regular renegades who are, you know, you have to have bad guys if you're going to have good guys. So we need more bad guys sometimes.
Right, you gotta...
So your regular renegades are the bad guys, yeah. Right.
We do.
They don't believe in the law. They're lawbreakers. They get caught. They got to pay the price, that kind of thing. And then there's the enemies of the state. Dun, dun, dun. These are the real bad guys, yeah. Yeah, these would be like the mobsters that, you know, the GCSE has voted to make them enemies of the vampire state. So they're hunted.
They are not nice people. In
Right?
Underworld.
And then, yeah. And there's, two groups of them. There's the enemy of the vampire state and the enemy of the state, where, enemy of the state is basically a single individual. And, enemies of the vampire state could be a house or a clan. Never a bloodline, but a house or a clan.
Okay. That's interesting. Never.
Now, the RAFs, that political faction, I've even seen archers claim that for their clans. So that's allowed then. Whereas apostate renegade clearly, obviously, is not for the arch. And then it's just straight up a renegade. Is that allowed for an arch?
No. You mean you can't say you're an arch that is renegade.
Okay.
Archers are supposed to be, unbiased.
Law-abiding.
Yeah. Well, not actually law-abiding. They're just supposed to be unbiased. They need to, they're over the court. They make those kind of decisions. They're over the councils. So they need to be unbiased in that sense. However, they can have renegade clans.
Underneath them in that umbrella.
Yeah.
Or their own clan as well.
Yeah.
So what political faction is that? Is that the RAF then?
For an arch isn't in a political faction.
Okay.
Confusing,
It's
isn't it?
confusing. It is, because I do see some arches with clans that claim the RAF.
Well, okay, so you separate the arch of the bloodline from the clan. I mean, the goal was to not allow archers to have clans, so they would be unbiased, but it just didn't work out that way.
Okay.
I know a few of the archers have given up their clans to remain unbiased, but there's still quite a few to go.
Okay, and we don't know what the future brings, so who knows what that looks like, as always. So,
right, times always do change.
I would say, from my experience, most renegades just want to go out and have fun. And is it role play? Is it not role play? It's role play. They're out there to have fun, break the laws, try not to get caught. If they get caught, they'll try to squirm out of it. It's role play, and it should be role play. It's a lot of fun.
Well, exactly. They kind of out there doing their own thing, and as long as they're really not affecting anybody, it's really not a problem. I don't see. Right?
I mean, like I said, you can't have good guys unless you have bad guys.
That's right. It's all powerful, dynamic. It's good for the role play. So, each to their own. So now, as we get more specific here, the apostate renegades. I think this is very misunderstood. Even Craig and I we did not understand this. So these folks walk out sharp, but they keep a boot in the voting ring of a GCSE. So how does that work? And more intriguingly, why don't more clans use that strategy to keep their vote? What keeps them loyal to silence instead of leveraging that vote?
I would say it's education. Most of them don't know it exists. It's either you're in the GCSE or you're not, and that's not the way it works. You can be an apostate clan, or you could be a renegade advocacy faction and still vote.
Awesome. And I love that. So you don't lose your vote. Like everyone said, oh, you can't go renegade, you lose your vote. No, that's not true. Can you still sit where everyone else does? Or do you have to sit on the balcony? Or what's the rules about that for a council meeting?
They can sit as long as, they're in good standing. Yeah. House clan officers can sit on the floor, participate.
They can do roll call, everything.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good to know.
They can bring motions to the table. They can vote on motions. They're a, normal member. They're just like, not following their arch. Yeah.
I love this. This is awesome. I mean, this is news, honestly.
It definitely irons
Breaking
things out
news.
perfectly for a lot of people to understand the whole renegade lifestyle, and it's very
It does.
intriguing. I loved it when I was renegade back in the day with the early Ravnos. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. You know, you take that bad guy role, and it's just great. So Rebellion,
Could be a lot of fun.
it is, and like you know, you rage against a machine, so to speak. It's and Rebellion is often loud, but Endurance is quieter. Diabolic Domino, we really appreciate you for taking the time, and thank you for showing us the threads in the tapestry of defiance. Whether you're cast out or walking by choice, one thing's for sure, the game's never over. Your vote is still on the board, so you heard him. Renegade vote will count.
Yes, and you can always identify them either by wiki or on their scans. Correct, Diabolic Domino? You just look for that political faction.
Right. So the people that can vote are all under the GCSE political faction.
So we'll be wanting to look for ACS.
Okay, so the list goes like Arch Kabbalist, then Apostate Clans Coalition, the Globalist, the Independents, the Renegade Advocacy Faction, and Traditionalist. Those are the voting members of the GCSC. And you can be, you know, renegade-ish and still vote.
Well, that is really good to know, because the whole time, I mean, like you said, most don't know about it. Like, I didn't know I could even attend as a renegade, so I never really thought I was welcome. So that is really good knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's the, so it's either GCSC or RROs, and RROs are mostly have been like self-proclaimed RROs. We're going to be RROs, the bad guy, and they don't get to vote. So
Okay. Those stay out of the councils, y'all, if you're that, okay? So, but yeah. And you can find the kiosk at the Scribes Guild. So if you happen to watch this and you feel more educated, to make a more educated decision about your future, you can change that at the faction kiosk, correct?
that's right.
It's as simple as that, folks. It's so complex, but he broke it down for us. It's very simple in actuality. The truth is out there, and we just found it. Okay.
And we have the list of the political factions on the wiki. It's in English, Spanish, French, Italian, Russian, and Portuguese. So no excuse.
No excuse. That's right. You need to educate yourself. Okay. So this is awesome. So when they say, oh, but we only do combat and we don't get into politics and we lost our vote. Nope. That's not true. That's not true.
Well,
and then when you say,
really good to know, there's no knowledge that's not power, huh?
That's right. And then when you say renegades can only do combat, nope, that's not true either. We're making it so.
Well,
Okay, so we are.
So I do have to ask you, my wife.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
We have been all hearing about this awesome tea party about to take place with the Renegades in mind. So it would be great if you could explain to us what's going to happen and give us the down low on everything.
Okay. So on July 6th, it's going to be held at the Scribes Guild in the new events area. It's going to run from 1 to 4 p.m. Second Life Time. It's called the Taste of Freedom Tea Party, and it draws inspiration from historic acts of defiance, most notably the Boston Tea Party, as symbolic touchstones of resistance. And so this gathering is not a reenactment or political commentary, but a celebration of renegade spirit across time. From toss crates to raise voices, we honor the power of choosing your own path. So, basically, like I said, this is no reenactment. Don't get, it's not the boss, it's where the concept comes from the Boston Tea Party, but it's not a reenactment. And so it's not a Mad Hatter Tea Party, nothing like that. Just a revival. It's inspired by rebellions of old, crates and harbors, voices in the streets. So if you are a renegade and you are interested in displaying your logo there, or you want to give a few words, a speech about how you play your role as renegade, please contact me, Ming Xiao Clementine. I want to have you all participating, and I'm honored to include you. That's all.
And there's no
I'm looking for
tea and
DJ.
strumpets, folks.
I'm looking for DJs, renegade DJs as well. Let me hear what you got. Okay.
Oh, I'll be bringing it.
Yes, and others, please. I want to hear from y'all. And Diabolic Domino, we can't thank you enough for stepping up out of the shadow and talking to us about this. It's very important that people understand this, and we are very happy. Thank you. We're honored.
You're welcome. Nice to be here.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to interview our boss, so to speak, and just have you join us on the podcast.
Yes, and all controversial subjects will be hitting you up, okay?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun talking about the political factions, even though they are kind of a dry subject, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And perhaps because they're misunderstood. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they're greatly misunderstood, and there's a lot of roleplay value in these, you know, and
there so is. We need the bad guys, like you said. So if you want to be, you know, a villainous hero, let's do it. You know,
we just don't need bad guys that run around crashing people and crashing sims, and that's not a bad guy. That's a creeper.
Exactly. No harassment.
Exactly. A good bad guy is hard to find lately, and a griefer, that's just irritating. That's not even fun. So I totally
That's not even part of the game. We're not looking for that. No.
It was funny. Today I was actually out having some lunch, and I come across 2 renegade raccoons. And I'm like, look at these little guys. And then, no joke, they both got on. I was like, okay, I'm going to fight some raccoons today. And it was actually a lot of fun.
How funny.
We'll be contacting you raccoons, by the way. We want you to participate.
Come to the tea party.
Come to the tea party, yes.
Well, Diabolic Domino, thank you. It has been a real honor and a lot of knowledge to take in today, so we appreciate your time, and we want to thank everybody. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell for our future updates and future podcasts.
Ciao.